Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is already halfway done, with a number of high-profile projects out and quite a few coming out soon. As with all Marvel projects, fans have their eyes set on what's coming next, kinda like anticipating the post-credits scene while the film's title track is still playing. It's inevitable. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about what the MCU might be planning for Phase 5, starting with Kevin Feige's statement. Now, if there's one thing we can say about Kevin Feige, it's that the man knows his audience. So, as we're thinking about Phase 5, so is he. And according to him, they've been leaving us some Easter eggs that point us into the direction that the next phase will take. Kevin said that he thinks there have been many clues already of where this whole saga is going. He also told us that they'll be a little more direct about it in the coming months so that audiences who want to see the bigger picture can see a bit more of the roadmap. We've also come to know that Marvel will have a panel at the San Diego Comic-Con 2023, and so we'll likely find out more on the topic there. But let's create our own roadmap of where Phase 5 could go. While we wait for the MCU to tell us more at the SDCC, let's discuss the Easter eggs they have left us so far and what they could be alluding to, starting with Thunderbolts. Phase 4 so far has been slowly and steadily building a unit of baddies. Now, this could come in the form of the Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers, but whatever it is, it's already begun. Both Black Widow and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier saw Valentina Allegra de Fontaine making her presence known, building her team chip by chip. Yelena Belova was manipulated by Contessa in the end of the film and will likely suit up as the White Widow. John Walker has also been converted to the cause. Furthermore, the Abomination's surprising roles in She-Hulk and Shang-Chi also hint at him joining the group soon. Taskmaster, Zemo, and Ghost's presence hasn't been made quite as obvious yet, but Valentina clearly has bigger plans involving the group that will most likely be revealed in Phase 5. The group might even debut disguised as superheroes like the original comic book layout. Moving on to the Young Avengers. Where there is evil, there will be good. The Young Avengers might be called in to serve their purpose against Valentina's Dark Avengers, since the OG saviors of the Earth are still recuperating from the Thanos snap and all. You know, coming back to life after 50% of the world's population was decimated. There have been some young superheroes in recent Disney Plus miniseries and other projects, and that means they will be able to Avengers assemble against Valentina in Phase 5. Ms. Marvel, aka Kamala Khan's story, is currently airing on the streaming platform, and in the OG comics, she's the one who leads the Young Avengers, so her presence also lends credibility to the theory. Besides Kamala, Kate Bishop has also made her debut in the Hawkeye series. America Chavez has donned the cape of Ms. America, and Tommy and Billy Maximoff, who are future Wiccan and Speed, are also in the picture. They are joined by Eli Bradley, the future Patriot, and Cassie Lang, aka Stature. So that's half the Avengers assembled already. While we are yet to see Theodore Altman's Hulking and Iron Lad make their MCU entry, they can't be far behind the team now. And at this point, it's not about if, but rather when the Young Avengers will join forces. The bigger question, thus, is how the oldies will react to this group of teens wreaking havoc on the world, and saving it, of course. Next up is the Skrull invasion. The past phases of the MCU have barely hinted at the Skrulls. In fact, Captain Marvel establishing the species as allies actually deviated from the comic books, but we've only touched upon the race for now, and we might get to know them better in the upcoming phase. In an upcoming series, Nick Fury and Talos will try to uncover the reasons behind the Skrull infiltration, and the series is thought to end the phase. But we might see the species as a whole, moving along to the next phase and turning into a bigger threat, which could be closer to their nature as described in the comics. Oh, and let's not forget Kang the Conqueror. Now, this is one Easter egg that has been sticking out. It's just so hard to ignore. Kang the Conqueror has already made his presence known in Loki, trying to keep one sacred timeline intact. But now that Sylvie has botched his plans, it would make sense for this intergalactic conqueror to take matters into his own hands. He's got quite obvious links to Iron Lad that might bring him in close contact with the Young Avengers, or we could see his connection to Rama-Tut, an Egyptian pharaoh, shine through in a new season of Moon Knight. He could also be back in Loki Season 2 or in the upcoming Fantastic Four series. Plus, he's already been established as the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, so he could be literally anywhere. Another factor to consider is that he can manipulate timelines, which makes him a bigger threat than Thanos, so he'd definitely be an Avengers-level threat and some more. And there's also the Secret Wars angle. Secret Wars was a comic book event that saw the Ultimate Universe crash into Earth 616. The event was a colossal catastrophe that pitted Marvel heroes from different worlds against each other on a plane that was called Battleworld. Since this was an extension of the Kang narrative, it could be coming true in Phase 5. There's just one problem. The MCU has already done this with Avengers Infinity War, and trying to recreate the portal scene would probably be a disaster. Well, what now? The answer to that also seems glaringly obvious once you think about it. Phase 4 has been leaning quite heavily into the multiverse. What If, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, all had heavy influences of the multiverse. Hell, Loki basically rubbed the idea of variants in our face. So imagine this, thousands of variants of Earth's mightiest heroes facing off against each other. Now that would be epic. Then we've also got the Midnight Suns. Now this one isn't all that obvious, but once you think about it, it's been staring us in the face all this time. The Midnight Suns are a group of Marvel heroes made up of supernatural entities, ghosts, vampires, werewolves, sorcerers, all joined forces in the comics to fight off demonic entities. There's no reason why this horror show can't come into the next phase of the MCU. The current phase is already relying quite heavily on magical beings, be it Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, Black Knight, Morbius, or the upcoming Blade. Werewolf by Night is also coming, and with so many unexplored characters like Ghost Rider, there's a trend to explore here. The likes of this darker supernatural MCU hasn't been done before, but we can expect Marvel to tackle the unexpected in the next phase, since it's supposed to be bigger and crazier than what's going on at the moment, and that's saying something. While Marvel is allowing their shows to get darker, this will likely be a long-term plan and won't necessarily take center stage in Phase 5. Up next, we've got the mutants. Now this is one angle that has been explored quite recently. Professor X's cameo in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness opened up quite literally a door to a new universe. We could see other mutants like Wolverine sail through as the studio brings those characters onto Earth 616 through some more multiversal action. Or they could commit to taking Wanda's story a bit further by trying to figure out whether or not her powers are actually a result of having the X gene and being a mutant. Either path could be chosen for Phase 5. There's just one hiccup though, and it comes in the form of Deadpool's third film. The movie will be set in the MCU, so it might bring mutants onto Earth 616 quicker than we'd expected. Okay, we think that's quite enough brainstorming for now. We don't know which of these Easter eggs Kevin Feige was referring to, but considering he's a big shot at the overly complex and maddeningly connected Marvel Cinematic Universe, we could expect to see either of these storylines play out in Phase 5, or it could be something completely out of the blue. Guess we'll just have to wait patiently to find out, until the SDCC 2023 at least. That's a wrap for this video. What route do you think Marvel will take for Phase 5? Do you think we missed out on some way future projects might pan out? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.